Right, in this video, I'm finally going to dive into a theory that's on everybody's mind. Is Tabitha actually Eloise, Victor's younger sister? That's one of the main theories that I'm going to be addressing in this video, as well as looking at how the entirety of episode 7 could potentially play out following the ending of episode 6 and the new preview being released. With an ending to the previous episode that linked Tabitha to the forest when she was younger in a way that she thought was a nightmare. Is that actually the case, or was it reality? Fatima's fate is also starting to look a little bit more confirmed now, following her having the ultrasound and it seeming like she could be transforming into one of those creatures. Plus, Elgin looks set to release another dark entity into the town and cause more problems than he realizes. With many other topics that are going to be addressed too, let's get into the video and discuss all things from episode 7. So here are my theories on the next episode. Just to let you know, this video will contain spoilers. Is Tabitha Victor's sister? In the most recent episode of From, we saw that it was revealed that Tabitha recognized the stick dolls that were placed all around the forest where the fresh crops were found by Jim and Kenny. This has sparked a lot of theories and conversation around if the recurring nightmare that she had wasn't in fact a nightmare, but was actually reality, and she was once trapped in Fromsville when she was younger under a different identity, Eloise. But somehow she found a way to escape, like she did at the end of season 2. However, once she escaped, she could well have forgotten her identity, the fact that she was there, and was ultimately raised under a different identity by parents that adopted her, thus making her Victor's sister. It's alleged that Eloise was killed on the night that the entirety of the town was slaughtered other than Victor, but it's not ever been confirmed, so this is something that could well be a possibility. Miranda's item of clothing was found in the tunnel when Victor and Henry went searching, and part of me feels like if Eloise was also killed, they would have had an item of her clothing there too in order to torment them. Victor has blanked out memories that he often thinks are dreams when he gets reminded of certain things, and that seems to be something that Tabitha also has too. Victor is extremely important in the town, as was his mother, Miranda. So that could also be the reason as to why Tabitha feels just as valuable as Victor, if not more so. And she could have inherited exactly what Miranda had when she was there. Tabitha has seen pretty much everything Miranda has done, and she's going in a similar direction as to what she did. One thing that makes me question this theory though is the fact that Henry didn't necessarily recognize Tabitha when he first laid eyes on her, whereas when he saw Victor, he immediately recognized him. Ethan did tell Henry though that it was Victor, so that could have been the main reason as to why he remembered him. Let's remember as well, Victor doesn't have any drawings of his father from the entire time that he's been in Fromsville, so maybe he just simply forgot what he looked like and the memory of him, just like what could have happened with Tabitha. I would actually like this to be a theory that's true, and I kinda hope that it is. That would also kind of explain the deep-rooted connection that Victor has with Tabitha's family, because they would actually be biologically connected. Elgin and the Kimono Woman. Judging by the preview for episode 7, it seems like Elgin is going to actually start listening to the Kimono Woman, rather than being afraid of her and avoiding her. In the most recent episode, she appeared in the photo alongside Fatima, and she said that she would save everybody in the town if he helped her. In the next episode, it seems like he's going to be going to where she's instructing him to go to, and whilst inside of a tunnel, I think she's actually going to be tricking him, and whatever Elgin is about to do, it's going to provide more issues for the town than good. When has a monster ever been truthful and honest about wanting to provide help? It seems like she's going to be communicating with him through the camera and showing him what to look out for, as we saw with the doors to the tunnel. In the preview, she said, "I can help you go home." Come on. Don't believe it, Elgin. Elgin is either going to end up being killed or harmed because she's messing with him, which would be a bold twist for the show to make. Or he's going to release a different type of creature into the town, maybe one that's been trapped for a long while and has been looking for the right person to manipulate in order to get them released. Either way, I don't think Elgin is going to do any good for the town. There's no positive outcome from this. Will Fatima become a creature? The most recent episode showed us that Fatima wasn't actually carrying a baby and that all of the strange cravings and side effects that she'd been having were being caused by something else. She's lost teeth and she even craved the blood of a human. I think it's clear to see now that she's going to undergo some kind of transformation. A transformation that will most likely mean that she'll turn into a creature of some kind. We know that the creatures started off as humans, as was mentioned in episode 2 of the show by Donna and Ellis, so I think as of next week, this could mark the beginning of the end of Fatima as we know her. Her cravings have actually been getting worse, with the worst one being feasting on Nikki's blood. What's the only other thing that we know of in Fromsville that craves blood? The creatures. So I think it's inevitable now, especially with the baby being ruled out. It will be quite emotional seeing Fatima turn because she's a key part of the town and one of the main characters in the show that we've come to connect with. The look on Boyd's face in episode 6 was one of concern, and it looks like that concern is going to continue into episode 7 with him shouting at Christy and telling her to do something. When you look back at episode 1 of season 3, the monsters essentially stated that they were doing what they were doing because Boyd said that he wasn't going to let the town break him. They see this as some kind of challenge. With Boyd believing that he was going to be getting a grandchild and his son and daughter-in-law no longer having the baby that they thought they were going to be having, this is almost another swipe at Boyd with the hopes of getting him to break. Whilst this directly impacts Fatima and Ellis more, this is another way that the creatures are using other people in the town as pawns in their game of hurting Boyd. They're chipping away at him slowly. Tianxian, Dale, Randall, and now this. They want him to go on the offensive, and all of these things will make him do so, and ultimately make him vulnerable. Randall and Julie. Randall and Julie are both experiencing hallucinations in different ways following what happened to them at the end of season 2. Julie is hearing relentless screaming, and Randall is witnessing things such as locusts flying in front of him and attacking him. Things that make him feel as though welcoming death would be easier. Pair that up with the fact that he was brutally attacked by the creatures a couple of episodes back and now has an altered appearance. He's a man that I think is going to change drastically moving forward. I always thought that Randall was going to lead some kind of divide and revolt in the town against Boyd, following him abandoning him and leaving him for dead. This is because togetherness has been made out to be the one thing that the town has going in its favour, so Randall tearing that apart could be powerful. But now I'm starting to think that there could be something else and he might not be working on his own. I think there could be something that's focused around the fact that Randall no longer cares for the people in the town and could almost be working for the creatures following him being abandoned. That could be why they left him alive. We're seeing the creatures acting significantly more intelligent in this season of the show, and they're not just brutally killing for the sake of it. Every killing of a main character so far has had meaning. For example, Tianxian was done to try and break Boyd and the spirit of the town. And the death of Dale was again to make the people feel the weight of loss, but also to directly impact Donna, the only other person that has had the same amount of strength as Boyd. So with Randall being left alive, they could well have cut him a deal. The waitress creature made a deal with Boyd by saying, "We get to keep Randall," so he could be part of a wider plan that they have, and he might look to infiltrate from within. With him choosing to stay with Mariel and Christy, it was a very random move from him. Randall is almost like a lone ranger, and he enjoys his own company, so I think there could be something sinister at play there. We know that him and Julie have a connection due to the fact that they both experienced trauma in season 2. And in the preview for the next episode, they're going to be going into the forest together, and whilst they're there, they look set to experience some kind of force that Julie wants to explore. However, it looks like Randall is going to deter her from going through with it. This could be the force of the town that's projecting the hallucinations to the both of them. There's a reason that they ended up right there, so I wonder if there's something that the town wants them to find. Everything has its purpose in this town, to quote Jade, and Julie seems to be the only person that Randall seems to care about, so I wonder how the relationship between the both of them is going to develop. There are many different directions that the next episode of the show could go in. We've only got 4 episodes left of the season, so I'm hoping we're going to start to get some answers on some of the theories that seem to be floating around. So, there you have it. From Season 3, Episode 7, Theories Explained. If you want to see more videos on From, then click on the card in the top corner. There's an entire playlist there. Or alternatively, you can head over to my channel where you'll find them all. And finally, if you'd like to see what I rate the latest movies that don't quite make the cut to getting a dedicated video, then head over to my Letterboxd profile. It's where I rate the latest releases in real time. What do you think will happen next? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. As always, thanks for tuning into the video and I'll see you in the next one.